Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Okay. So one of the most powerful things I learned at 23, especially with human psychology, is it's either you being employed for two things: um, resources, or mankind really cares about two things: resources or energy. So without going too far off the pendulum, um, you will either be deeply used for um, what energy you bring to the table, and more importantly, what other energy you can bring to the table, or um, you will either be used for your resources, who, what, where, why, who, what, where, why, um, what you built, uh, etc., etc. Like, let's say you built a new Google, and you don't Google doesn't want to be competed with. They will buy you out because they see that you're a resource. Your technology is more of a resource to them than them being competition. So they'll come up with $1 billion deal and say, "Listen, um, we love what you got going on. How about we just buy your company?" I think they just did that with Nas, um, with him being some part of some pharmaceutical company thing, and they bought him out. And Nas being the typical slave that he is, he bought it, right? Um, because he doesn't know about, well, obviously he doesn't know. He's a slave in many regards. Um, so the most powerful thing I learned, when you're not being employed is to employ your own energy. And I usually noticed I wasn't making them. I was making the least amount of money when I wasn't employing my own energy. I was employing it for different tasks, different abilities, um, different uh, things that that relocated me to not be making any money, not be making any sources, etc., etc. Like, for instance, the most powerful day ever was my $500 day on February 14th, 2018. My phone just got stolen, and I had a goal to make $500. I had a $500 day for my, and I wanted to use this money um, to. Sorry, I wanted to use this money to get my best friend a gift for her birthday, and at this time I was doing rituals of every hour I would visualize, or every at least 5 to 8 times a day I would visualize. I think for like 2 3 days straight, and I tend to realize that again I had no money. I think my phone, my phone that was cut off. No. I had no phone, so I literally was on Wi-Fi in Starbucks on 36th Street, and I was inboxing people, just praying away that I get this $500 day, and it happened. I was on a Talker Tone app, and I called this young lady. We spoke about astrology. She said, you sound good at what you do," and she paid me $500. And I'll never forget calling my best friend before the deposit even happened. She was like, "Yo," before the deposit even happened, she was like, "Yo, don't talk unless it's in your bank account." And what's crazy is this is about 5 years, about 4 years before um, the deposit of 250 um, that was taken from her account, when she first invested in me, being an internet entrepreneur. So she was the first. So she I couldn't even get access to my the Cash App at the time, because I had an iPhone and the iPhone was acting weird, or whatever was happening with the Cash App on my phone. So she saw the deposit come in, and I didn't have no phone on. I didn't have anything. I literally had to uh, have her do it. I literally had to have her uh, um, deposit the money in my bank account when I was getting my ZTE Blade. And it was an amazing experience because I didn't have no phone. I didn't have no I didn't have no phone. I didn't all I had was Wi-Fi, I think an iPhone and Talkatone. And I got on the phone with somebody and I was just talking well at what I do, and I made it happen. So um it was on a 9 day too when I did the math today. So well, I said one. Usually, I was broke because I'm only broke when I'm directing my energy in a negative way, or I'm directing my energy in the way that doesn't make sense to well. Two, um, use your energy towards the riches, because money is really energy at the end of the day. And that's something you really have to understand. Like money is really just energy. It's energy first, paper after. Because a lot of us are slaves to the paper, not knowing that every paper that comes out, every paper used takes a certain amount of energy. Um, you done by somebody, some way, some shape, some way, somehow. Um, and something has to be done energy wise for that paper to have validation. Because if you really look at the dollar is not as valuable as we think it is, right? It actually goes down in value more and more every day. Um, it's just that we worship it so much as it's with um, so much high value that we don't realize if every um, employee was to say, "Yo, I want gold tomorrow," the dollar would be gone. Um, hey, what's going on? Um, yeah, he looks weird. Anyway, um, three. You don't have to be. You don't have to have. Um, I would say you don't have to have money. Okay, so if you don't have money, I would say direct yourself to its equal equivalent attention. Because usually, if you get enough attention in a systematic way, let's say through a funnel, let's say through some type of business, some type of call, you can make thousands of dollars if you know how to get attention. But most people don't know how to get attention in the right way. So if you learn how to manipulate and control attention, you'll never. I would be bold enough to say you'll never be broke. Um, and You'll never be broke if you know how to control attention. If you know how to manipulate attention, if you know how to call attention to what it is that you want to do. Um, because attention uh, makes energy flow in a certain direction. So if you're able to direct and control people's energetic pathway, you'll never be broke. And that's why a lot of hip hoppers without going too deep dark on the spectrum get killed because they get to a certain level where um, they're able to control energetic attention, and they're able to do it at such a fast and such a mass rate that if they're not doing what Massa told them to do, they will eliminate them. Five, employee employer energy for someone else. Oh, sorry. Um, Employ your energy or somebody else will. I had to learn, like when I didn't want a job, because I didn't want anybody else to employ my energy. So I always realized if I don't employ my energy, somebody else will. And I got kind of tired. No, I didn't even say I kind of got tired. I was tired of seeing the same energy, because it's not about money. The same energy that I'm putting here at this 8 hour job that I don't like, I'll be directed my energy somewhere else to bear fruit, to be charging more, to be making more. And the thing is with energy is that you just have to pay a different price than um, you have to pay a different price than the 9 to 5, because the 9 to 5 gives your brain immediate psychological um, satisfaction. But if you understand psychology, if you really know who's really winning, nobody's really winning plays for the short game. Like one of my favorite marketers, not my favorite marketer of all time right now, is Gary Vee. Because he's a Scorpio, he does not play for the short game. And if you only play for the satisfaction of the short game, you're always gonna lose. Um, because he's thinking 200-300 years ahead, or he's thinking a decade, 2 decades ahead. A lot of people are only thinking for 6 months or fucking 6 days. God damn it. So if you're only thinking 2 weeks ahead, meaning when's your next paycheck, you're never gonna really eat. You feel what I'm saying? When I heard him talk about in the interview, he's thinking about his great grandkids watching his videos, his podcasts, um, his business, etc., etc. So when I one of the things I said to myself a couple of days ago was, I'm legacy driven as well, because my North Node is in Scorpio. So in many regards, I could care less. Like even one of my old partners used to say, I admire what you're doing because you're playing for the long game, but you have to go through so much pain and sacrifice in between that. And I had to learn across my journey the gap between the short game and the long game is deep, dark obsession. And you have to go that route because the right the 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 route pays faster when you're obsessed more. When you're kind of lackadaisical about it, um, it doesn't really work, and it brings about a massive amount of pain. But that means your energy is so wrapped up in you're making it happen, not from a desperate level, meaning that 8 hours, 8 to 10 to 15 hours a day. That's all that's on your mind, and you're literally employing your energy to make that shit work out for you. So, like I said, I've created many $400 to $500 days online from nothing. Um, no money, no. I was at many times I was flat broke, and I had to employ myself. You feel me? Um, so definitely at this time and day, especially when I tell people who are begging for a job, there's so many easy ways to start a business for less than $100, for less than $500. That you can enjoy. All you need to do is employ your energy the same way you would employ it as looking for um, a job. Because I say that it took me 5 years to get a call back from a real job at Target, and when I got the call back, I missed it, and only because my father um, was looking for a job for me. Um, I got the job at Target, but if it was up to me, I would have never had the job. Um, So, and in many regards, it was a setup, but it was also a setback because it still was directing my energy where I didn't need it to go. Um, so yeah, one of the things I learned about every entrepreneur that I know, they always get to a certain point in their business and in their life where they say you got to make a decision on where you're going to direct your energy, and more importantly, how much sacrifice are you going to Or are you going to, hey, what's going on? Um, are you going to give yourself and go through so you get where you need to go? And I think a lot of people do not, most people don't enjoy sacrifice, but um, the sacrifice becomes too much for them, so they drop the ball because the employment of their energy and the level of sacrifice that um, they have to endure. I kid you not. It's a lot, and I understand why most people feel. I actually am becoming more. The more I go into the tip of success, the more empathetic I become towards people who don't win, because it takes so much from you. Um, that if you don't have a strong enough why or not, and I mean past bills. Sometimes, well, a lot of times, bills was my anchor for me getting up, but if you don't have a why stronger than bills, um, you will faint out, um, because you just won't make it, because your sexual transmutation will not make it through, um, and because you have to change, you have to adapt, you have to grow, and these are things that are not optional. These are like in employing your energy, you have to learn obsession, you have to learn sexual transmutation on a constant level, um, rituals, etc., etc. So, um, many people are not, don't know too much about that, but that's topic for another time. Um, well, yeah, so uh, you have to just employ your energy different. A job is not the only way to make income. A job is literally entities in line creating energy to get the paper that they have at the end of the day, at the end of the 2 weeks. So, yeah, employ your energy different. Peace.